this is going to be a bit of a different episode. Normally, the structure of the episode is I talk about the beginning of the topic, introduce you to it, intro plays, and then the fan art section happens, and then we get into the topic itself. But this time the topic's actually going to be fan art, or rather, fan art is informing a topic. So, a bit different than usual, but hopefully y'all will be here for the ride. Boatin, thank you for redeeming your points for an owl. So, fan art section today is only one piece of fan art, and it's this one, right here. This one is from Rosy Goggles, but whereas normally there's a description in the Discord about the piece, unless you're Karamba, of course, then there's never a description, and that's probably just the meme at this point. RXD, thank you for redeeming your points for an Ara Ara. Ara Ara. You fucking degen. But typically, there's a description there, but instead there's something a little bit different. There is an entire story accompanying it. And I figured I wanted to go ahead and read that off to you guys. This seems like something that if I were to jam it into the beginning of a video, it would get eclipsed by the actual video itself, and it would take till about the 5 or 6 minute mark to be done. So instead, we're going to just make it the actual topic. So, the actual piece here is just of my character sorting Magic the Gathering cards. And for those who don't know, this is one of the most therapeutic things you can do. If you like card games, just sorting cards is really, really, really calming. Getting things set up to deck build is really, really calming. It's very strange, but it does work out very well. But let's talk about why this piece of fan art is here. I'm going to read, which is something I'm not normally able to do, considering that I play Yu-Gi-Oh! But let's pretend I know how to read. Okay, Baba, come on. Stop hitting my microphone. Baba keeps on pushing the microphone a little further away each time, making it impossible for me to actually, speak at a consistent distance. Let's go ahead and read what Rosy Goggles wrote here, because I think some of you may actually find it interesting as well. Said, I decided to make Suris happily sorting through cards due to a recent video I saw of his. In the vid, he was talking about escapism as a form of coping. The next part you don't have to read on stream if you don't want to. Do this due to this most likely being long-winded. That video had me thinking about the things I went through in my life, and my way of escaping it. I don't want to go into detail about what happened in my life because I find it painful, and honestly, it's probably not a big deal in comparison to what many others have gone through every day. I'm going to stop you right there. Never, ever, ever say that I don't want to talk about my problems because what I go through is not as bad as what other people go through. Guess what? Other people can be going through the best of times or the worst of times, but if you stub your toe, that doesn't negate your stubbed toe. It just simply doesn't. And anybody that tries to argue that it does, they don't have your best interests at heart. Fact of the matter is, if you went through hardship, you went through hardship. That's valid. And there's no qualifiers necessary. But as a result of my life, I have a hard time letting my brain be idle for any length of time. Yeah, me too. I start to feel anxious, like something bad is going to happen at any moment. Some days, I'm even afraid to do anything because I feel like as soon as I do, something bad will happen. This can sometimes make it hard for me to do my hobbies, leaving me stressed all day. Many of the forms of escapism I've personally used are similar to yours. Video games, card games, etc. My favorite hobby, though, was drawing. From a little kid, I just loved drawing and making up stories about the characters I would make. It would be a way to express the way that I feel, to focus on something other than what was happening at that moment. This, and a love for comics, has made one of my life dreams to be has made it so that one of my life's dreams is to be a comic book artist and a writer. Honestly, if that's your dream, do it. I mean, hell, I had 10 years ago, I wanted to be a YouTuber as my career. Like, that seemed super out of reach. Well, more than 10 years ago. That was when I was in high school. That seemed super out of reach, but over a decade later, and this is what I do all the time. You can do it. Push yourself to do it, and you can. But let's continue on. Although, at this point, I think my art is maybe passable. A general anxiety about showing my art and telling my stories has me in a constant state of procrastinating. But that's why I like making fan art for you, because it has me drawing, not focusing on anxieties that I can't quite explain to people, and it's helped me get over the fact that my art isn't good enough to tell my stories, or the feeling that my art isn't good enough to tell my stories. I have started writing, and hopefully soon I will have a webcomic up, and hopefully I'll be satisfied with it. Whether I'm the only reader or if I have thousands of readers, it should be about the art and the stories I want to share after all. To anyone who read this, thank you for your time. P.S. This was too long for Discord, so I had to get creative. Honestly, I have a handful of things to say. The first one is, your art is more than passable. In general, you've got things like basic anatomy down. The texturing on the fur is fan-fucking-tastic. And most artists are scared to draw hands. That's why they become furry artists in the first place. A fear of drawing hands. You may not see worth in your art yet, but trust me, it's there. 110% it's there. Building up a webcomic? I have a few of my friends who also run their own webcomics, and you know what? Do it. Do it and post it in the arts and crafts section of the Discord. Because you know what? You may think your art is only passable, but the level your art is at is something that other people look at and say, wow, I wish I could do that. Just like how you probably sit where you are and look at other people's art and go, wow, I wish I could do that, there's somebody at another level wishing they could be you. You're going to continue to improve your craft. You're going to continue to improve as an artist and hopefully as a storyteller once you get the time to actually sit down and start writing that story. But all I have to say is, taking the time to do those things, taking the time to sit down and work on and improve an aspect of yourself or a thing you love doing, whether it's escapism or not, that is a wonderful way. That is a very productive way to deal with life's anxieties, to deal with the issues that we all face every single day. Kicker Kid says, can I interject with an advertisement for a very useful hand drawing tool? By all means. But regardless of that, thank you for the fan art, Rosie. And I wanted to dedicate an actual video to this one. Not because I personally know you. I don't. But I was glad that there was a takeaway from the video that I did. I thought that honestly was great. I'm glad to know that there are some people who are taking some of the things I'm saying and using them to improve their own lives, even if it's just a little bit. Also, apparently the tool is called handarttool.com. Huh. It's literally called Handy. Fair enough. But don't ever let yourself fall into that pit of despair that says that your art's not worth it. Do not ever let yourself fall into that pit where you don't think that despite the improvements you make on your own work and the things you do, it's not worth it. It is worth every ounce of time you put into it. Not because of the art you create for other people, but because of the art you're able to make for yourself. But that's all I've got on that one. Not a super long video. I just thought the story was important. Because I'm sure there's a lot of other artists who are in my Discord or watch my content who feel similarly. Where art's an escape for them. And sometimes don't feel like what they do is worthwhile. when it most certainly is. So hopefully y'all got something out of this too. And as always, everyone, insert end of video tagline here.